Welcome, my beautiful souls, and welcome, my gorgeous Pisces. This is a special reading. I put a post out and asked if I just had a feeling that there was many who needed, a special reading on top of their April reading. So I put the post out and I got a lot of response. You came in third, Pisces. You're right behind Gemini. Um, so I want to do your reading for you. Real quick though, I do want to I want to remind you of, I don't know, maybe not everybody saw it, but I did that little promo with the coloring books for Justin, who is our Pisces. And I know many of you share his birthday. That's why I decided to really quick talk about it. I just want to remind you that there is going to be what he's calling a color off. So they're beautiful coloring books. Oh, I wish I had one around me. And I've been doing so much coloring. It just eases I don't know. It just relaxes me so much. I mean, art in general, but even because the coloring books are beautiful. So anyways, my point is, after you purchase a book, which again, it's cheap, it's a coloring book, but it's high quality. Even the front covers, when I'm done, I think I'm going to frame all the covers and put them somewhere in my office. We'll see. But, anyways, the reason why I'm reminding you is the color off is going to end, I believe, on May 31st. And how you enter it, it's free. I mean, you do have to buy a book, but once you buy the book, um, I would buy yourself one. But if you have kids, you buy it for your kids. Matter of fact, I just sent my daughter for 4 books for Easter, for the kids and for her. um, so what I was going to say is when you buy the book, Amazon will send you an email, or you know how that works. By the way, these books are made in America. I know some have like a problem with Amazon right now. I get it. Um, but I still want to help him. So, anyways, at the end, you upload your photo or your picture that you colored your kids. You can upload as many as you want, and there will be prizes. He's going to break it down into advanced, intermediate, and beginner, so it's really fair. And then there will be different prizes, and I'm actually going to help give him some prizes because I know what you guys like. So I'm excited for it. I'm going to enter my picture, though I'm not joining the contest. That wouldn't be fair. But just so you guys can see mine, you saw some of it. So anyways, I want to let you know about that. And by the way, his company's name is Happy Home on Amazon, but I'll leave you the link. Or well, I will leave the link, but I also did a short promo that really shows you the different books, and I only bought 4. He's got, I think, 12 or more out, and they're going to turn into children's books. And you guys know, I've had this vision of him doing art. I have had this vision, and let's just say something happened within the job he was working, made him jobless, and he turned to his art. And I feel like it was just as it was meant to be. Just as it was meant to be. When you see the books, you'll understand. He's also going to do a design for zodiacs. So the different zodiac designs, I will definitely frame them also. So yeah, so there's that. I also want to let you know about the membership program that I have started. I've had the Thank You Sandy membership for quite a while. And that's just a simple thank you for the readings. But I did add a second one, and it's level 2. And this is going to be where, they're going to be like mini personal readings. We're going to go live. I am going to try to do it once a week, but I'm asking you to please don't hold me to that. Let's just say the week that I can't do it, like I can't do it that week, then I'll make it up. Maybe I'll do it twice the next week, something like that. But we'll go live and you can ask me any questions you want to ask me. We will connect to our guides and use tarot. So we'll bring out all the big guns. And there's no limit. The only thing I do ask is, once this is completely developed, is that everybody gives everyone a fair shot. I am going to wait until we have 4 members. Once we have one, I have a few on level 1, but level 2 is the one where we're going to go live. So I have one, and I thank you. But when we get 3 more, then we're going live. And then, anybody else that comes along, it's just welcome to the family. Okay, I think that was enough talk about me. So anyways, this is a special reading for you. I hope and pray it brings you the clarity and peace of mind that you're seeking. I pray it brings you the answers that you need. I hope you're ready to take some leaps of faith. I already feel that. Like, I already feel in your reading it's going to ask you to take a couple leaps of faith. Now, I'm picking that up intuitively. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll also connect your April reading in the comment section. I'll pin it to the top of the comment section. So if you haven't watched your April reading, or if you want to watch it again, the link will be right there for you. Okay. Done talking. So we are going to give Mother Mary the honor of opening up your reading. By the way, I should have said this, Justin's birthday is February 26th. And I know some of you share his birthday. We will use the Gilded Tarot to go deep. And deep we go. I'm going to use the Universal Tarot for your main spread. It's interesting, I allow my intuition to really, what deck is calling to me. And I always find it interesting, the different decks that call for different signs, at different times in the year. So Universal Tarot is definitely calling for you. We're going to use the major arcanas. I also put a post out about that and asked, do you guys like these in the reading? Do you feel that they bring real value to the reading? I do, but that's me. I want to know what you think. They do add some extra time. However, I feel like what they bring to the reading is worth that extra time. So, but let me know what you think. If you want, you don't have to. All right, so let's go ahead and open up the tarot portion, starting with Mother Mary's beautiful words of wisdom. Let it be. I bring the lid down just a little bit. There we go. Okay. That didn't take long. Devotion. Devotion. As I fully commit to my values, relationships, and God, I am clear about what to do next. Devotion. All right, we'll put that right there. Let's give it one more go. Okay, I just had a feeling something else wanted to come out. I have to say, when it comes to me doing tarot readings, I completely follow my intuition. I don't second guess. I used to when I first started. I don't anymore. Because devotion may mean some things to some people, but not everyone. But yeah, I just don't. And I knew another card wanted to come out. Children. Children. My heart is filled with love for children, which creates miracles and positive changes for them and me. Them and me. That's kind of beautiful. You know, I have a feeling some of you work with children, Pisces. I have a feeling you're just fantastic with children. You know, maybe not all Pisces, but because I feel like you're a kid at heart. And I mean that as a compliment, by the way. So, devotion and children. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring in the major arcanas. Oh, I forgot to mention also, this is for Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising. Um, Many of you are intuitively guided to readings now. And I thank you so much for paying attention to your intuition. You know, if nothing else, I feel like that is one of my purposes for doing what I'm doing. It's to teach how to really listen to your intuition, to trust your intuition. It will guide you. It is a gift we were given, along with many others. Okay. Temperance. So, divine timing. Temperance's first message, though, is patience, giving something the chance to come together. You know, sometimes we want something before it's truly ready. And temperance is, you know, a beautiful energy to have in your reading because any worry that you might have, temperance would say, hand it over to me, especially if it's things like if I'm worrying about things I have no control over anyway. Temperance divine says, give it to me, hand it over to me. So, this also means something is coming about, but it's coming about in divine timing. I kind of love that. Card of Sagittarius also, though, but I don't really read them as signs. Well, hello, Destiny. Look at that. Right next to divine timing, and then your will, your destiny. If anything, you want to understand that where this is moving you to is a destined period of your life. What I feel that means is, well, I feel it means a few different things, but let me give you my understanding. Um, and this is what my guides have really taught me. You know, before we come into this lifetime, we have, um, first of all, we have a spiritual team that's already assigned to us and it grows. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we lose people and then they become a special part of our guidance. So it grows. But what was I going to tell you? Ah, what was I going to tell you? I don't know. Well, let's keep going and see if it comes back to me. It usually does. Oh, I knew I was going to tell you. Um, so yeah, so I feel, or this is what I've been taught, that, you know, when we come to this lifetime, there are going to be a lot of unknowns. You know, this is about a soul's quest, a soul's journey through this human body. And trusting your intuition, um, because your soul plants certain seeds of intention before it even came into this lifetime. I often feel that with soulmates and twin flames, like, all right, we're going to come into each other's life in a certain, like at a certain time, probably when we both really need each other. And, you know, temperance, who is controlling divine timing, it's almost like I can't let you spin that wheel, Sandy, until something. So, patience, and then it's movement. For divine movement. We have the hangman. Slow down, you move too fast. Don't you want the night to last? All right. I was going to stop there, but I always like to see when I see this hangman, he's swaying to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right. He's swaying to the right. I feel like the hangman is seeking spiritual wisdom, but to use on this earthly plane. Sometimes I could be holding myself back. This person is loosely bound, but they are bound. They may think that they're bound, but again, that's more of an illusion. This could certainly talk about wanting something before it's time. But I feel like temperance has a good hold on that. Almost like you can want it, and it doesn't hurt to put those intentions out there. It actually helps. But temperance is waiting for something. So let's keep going. We have the strength card. Card of Leo. This is your inner workings, your inner feelings, your inner demons. You know, it's a remembrance that we all carry light within us, but we also carry dark. We all carry feminine, but we also carry masculine. This is really coming to terms, coming to balance with the inner you. What I love about the strength card is, I don't feel like it's easy energy because I am being very, very honest with myself. Like, what do I need? Like, is there anything that needs to happen for me to start, like, having a better life? Um, in the strength card, again, looking at those inner demons, but ultimately what it's about is courage and power. And you never lose that. She's got the infinity sign as her goggles, as above, so below. Let you know that you're not alone on this earthly plane, even if you feel alone. You're not. Now, doesn't mean I don't want a physical person, but your spiritual team wants you to know. First of all, they're being very proactive in your life. There's no doubt there. It seems like temperance might be waiting on some of you maybe to go through the energy of the strength card. Find that ultimate balance within yourself. Don't deny the dark. I mean, we all carry the dark, but we also carry the light. Sometimes we need that dark energy, but more often we need the light energy. So it kind of feels like that's what temperance may be waiting for, so to speak. The strength card is an 8, and 8 also means a new beginning. So the new beginning with temperance. And what is temperance doing? She's mixing the loving waters of these two cups. I often feel like she's making sure they're equally filled. And to me, it just means that they're on the same vibrational energy. Because if they're not, what's the sense? This is divine, though. This isn't like free will love that I just walk down the street. This is meant to be. Oh, sorry. My phone is ringing. It's interesting because I have such a cheap phone that like I can't even hang it up. All right. Anyway, no more distractions. All right. Knight of Swords. Could be some type of communication coming in. Looks like he's coming in fast and furious. We'll see if he makes his way back out. Look at that. Well, okay. Beautiful. The Empress. The mother figure. The nurturer. With children. Hello. Some of you could certainly be a single mom. And maybe you are looking for a partner. But not just any old partner. Especially if you have children. You know, like where Temperance is saying, I want to make sure both these cups are in equal footings, right? They're in equal vibrations. Well, in the Empress's energy, I don't feel like I'd have it any other way. The Empress, it's something we all have within us. And I feel like we all reach it. Well, I shouldn't say everyone, because this is someone who has learned that it's important to live in the present moment. She knows that she's being guided. She knows that there's going to be signs, and she's going to use those signs. That's what makes the Empress so bountiful. These epiphanies. What's reminding me of all of a sudden? Like Albert Einstein. I feel like there were a lot of geniuses that were also guided. Well, right now you feel like my Albert Einstein. This is a very loving and nurturing energy. It's very creative energy. Well, hello, Will, again. Interesting. Look at this, another three. Three of Wands, a great energy. And then another three. The Three of Pentacles. Okay, let's stop for a second. So we have the Empress right next to the wheel. There's no one other than maybe the Emperor. And by the way, again, I'm talking energetically that I would feel 100% free in giving the Empress complete control. Because where she moves into next, so this wheel spins, right? I'm about to, well, maybe take that leap of faith I was talking about. And then we move into the Three of Wands. Well, that's the energy of optimism. This is the energy of doing exactly what our spiritual team is always asking us to do. Live in the present moment. Find gratitude for even the smallest of things. This is not a fear-based energy. This is an energy of action, but this is about being in the present moment. And really what this person is saying, Divine, I trust. I trust in you that my shifts, my blessings will come in their perfect timing. And then you have the Three of Pentacles. Well, Three of Pentacles is a celebration of you, your creativity, your individuality. It's like, I'm not saying there was nothing you needed to change, but I feel like you have. Because it feels like a celebration over you. This is about recognition and reward. It may be a craft that you do. The Empress, again, very creative. But usually in the Three of Pentacles, not usually, always, other people are admiring what you do, who you are. The Empress knows at this point, I am who I am. But she's also of a high vibrational energy. Not perfect. Don't even try to go for perfect, you won't find it. 333. I feel, Pisces, that you are being called into this present moment, right now, right here, for something probably pretty special. Temperance again. Divine timing. We have two wheels, two energies of temperance. Could certainly be a double Sagittarius. Temperance is mirroring the Empress. And it's almost like the Empress is receiving a sign. Go ahead and spin that wheel. Because you are living in the present moment now. So it's like, it's go time. I almost feel like we'll see, but I feel like the Ace of Wands will probably come out. We have the Four of Pentacles. And then we have the Page of Swords. The Four of Pentacles, I feel like if you are working out of your home, beautiful energy for that. And I'm saying working, it doesn't necessarily have to be like this is what I do for a living. It could be a craft, it could be like of a creative nature. That could turn into a big money maker, like all of a sudden I felt that like this could, it's not just a craft, it's something that could, if you choose, turn into a big money maker. It reminds me of, this is going to sound silly, but all of a sudden it reminds me of Sam, my boyfriend, who is all Italian and he does all the cooking. I mean, how blessed am I? He does all the cooking. Um, and I'm happy, like, I don't love to cook. Sometimes I do, but very seldom. Um, but anyways, it reminds me of like how he makes his sauce, his marinara. Um, and he doesn't want anybody to mess with it. He doesn't want me to come in and put like a teaspoon of sugar, like, don't touch my sauce. So the reason why I'm saying that is his sauce is so good. I could see him bottling it and selling it. Now, do I think that's going to happen? I don't. Um, but I'm saying that because that's the type of energy I feel. Like someone who possesses talent. Maybe you just didn't have the opportunity to work on it like you would have loved to. Look at this, a star. Your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. Also card of Aquarius. Um, you know, when you see the star card, that again, the meaning of the card, it's about your hopes, your dreams, and your wishes. But to me, it's about manifesting them, right? It's like, okay, well, I've had these dreams, these hopes, these wishes. What I want to do now is bring them into my life. Well, that's where I feel like part of this energy from temperance is telling you that it will, like these wishes will manifest. I mean, we have two wills here. There could be two new things happening in your life, or we're mirroring energy. We'll see. But the star underneath the Three of Wands, perfect energy to help divine manifest your dreams. Because that's how I feel it works. Like we walk hand in hand with divine to create the life that we want. We have a big say so. All right. Also, card of Aquarius. Don't know if I said that. Hello, Knight of Cups. Unexpected cup of fulfillment. Following the star. It's almost like you're sending out that night. Hmm. And then it's met by the Five of Swords. Why is that? Queen of Swords over that. I feel like this Page of Swords and this Queen of Swords might be the same person. The Five of Swords talks about toxicity. It's usually people around you. Mercury is in retrograde. It's going direct very soon, but there's still a shadow period. This queen, I kind of love this image because I feel like she's saying her piece and then she's dropping the mic, and that's the end of that. So interesting. Okay, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. The Hangman. We have some mirroring energy going on here, Pisces. Two hangmens, two wheels, two temperances. Um, all these threes, these eights, new beginnings, these wheels, moving into a destined time. I feel like it's something you've been waiting for. And interesting because I wanted to see why the hangman was swaying right and it's swaying towards a strength card. Strength card mirroring temperance. I feel like that is what temperance might be, because temperance, its first message is patience. It's patience in divine timing. But I do feel like, let's say 50% of the time, I feel like it's divine waiting on us. With no judgment, by the way. It's just, they're just waiting on us. So for some of you, I feel like you've been doing this deep dive within yourself and, you're really truly getting to know yourself, all parts of yourself. But when you know all parts of yourself, then you can balance that at the same time. So I feel like that was a component. Now, if this is talking about someone else, because we have the Knight of Cups, we have Destiny, we have Temperance mixing those beautiful waters of those two cups, can certainly represent soulmate. We know love is coming in. I'm not really sure yet why it's met with what feels like aggression. Like, is it you? So, oh, and there's that Ace of Wands. Look at that. There's that Ace of Wands under the Hangman. So I felt this Ace of Wands. Inspired action. Passion ignited. Maybe it's just the Hangman. Like, do you feel it? Or don't you feel it yet? Do you feel it? Are you allowing yourself to feel it? Six of Cups underneath that. All right. Let's take the Gilded Tarot over this and figure out. I mean, honestly, the only question I have is why is this Knight of Cups being met by aggression? Or is it coming in to swoop you away from that aggression? It's pretty clear that not for everyone, but for some of you, like the Knight of Cups is what you want. It's sitting right next to your wishes. It's even telling you the best way to manifest it is in the present moment energy, is through the energy of optimism. I expect good things to happen, and they do. I'll be damned. I expect good things to happen, and they do. Okay. Start at the beginning, but read it as a whole. I love that you're showing as the Empress, male or female, by the way, as your very first card under the major arcanas. And it's a major arcana. Matter of fact, two major arcanas that are mirroring each other. Beautiful major arcanas. We have, hello, victory and success. Six of Wands. You know what I love about this image? Not just the image, but this is really where other people are looking up to you, probably for advice. Some of you, this may be what you do for a living or something you want to be doing. You know, I know I keep saying the same things, but 2025 is the year of the healers. That's why we're in the Hermit's energy, getting ready to move us into the Magician's energy. So the Empress is sitting here pretty. Doesn't mean it's always been that way, right? Because the Hangman, at least one of the Hangmans is for her. I'm not sure who the other Hangman's for. I have a feeling who's ever in that Knight of Cups. I have a feeling some of you may work from home and work online. Now, you don't have to, but I do feel that you've reached this point where whether you do it for a living or not, other people are seeking you out for your advice, for your help. And in the Empress's energy, you know who to help and who not to help. Maybe I tried helping my family down here. All they did was yell and scream at me. And maybe my true family is my soul family. Us. I mean, they're your family too, but we are your family also. So I love that you have the Six of Wands there. Victory and success. I will accept it for you. It reminds me of Justin a little bit, right? Starting something brand new out of the home, doesn't have a clue. Will this pay off? Will anybody seek me out? Will anybody see, the art that I'm creating? But then they do. But then they do. I think it's a little bit of believing in yourself also. Oh, there's that Five of Swords again. Over the wheel. But look at this, the world. Okay, so clearly, the way I'm reading this is it wants you to know that Five of Swords exist. It wants you to understand that this is, again, that final year of that 9-year cycle. Here is the new chapter, the next chapter. And boy, you're sitting pretty under it, like optimistic, excited, probably feeling like a kid again. Like I feel like you're doing your thing. So I feel like we have to go back a card. We have to. And we have to understand why it's here because it's over your wheel. It's over your destiny. So, even bad things sometimes are meant to happen. Sometimes they're our greatest teacher. But I simply feel like this is saying because it's a five and five is change, you're making that decision of not bringing them along for the ride. Now, let's say it's actual family. It doesn't have to mean like I'm cutting them out of my life, but I'm not listening to bullshit anymore. right? Like, I don't feel like you need advice. Maybe they need advice, but in a way, I don't feel like they'd listen to you. Sometimes that type of energy comes through, even if it's love, it's a little bit jealousy. Like, look at Pisces, just puts her mind to something and bam, it manifests. Doesn't happen for me that way. Well, that's because of the energy they're in. Five of Swords, I often feel is like someone saying it's my way or the highway. And, if let's say it is family, let's say it's parents, like, okay, I had to put, or even sisters or brothers, like, okay, I had to put up with that, but now I'm an adult. I don't have to put up with that anymore. So, whatever that toxicity is, and it can even be your own thought system, where you didn't believe within yourself, but somebody could have, like, kind of hammered that home, but it still was not the truth. You have victory. You are sitting here in this loving, nurturing energy. You are being creative and you're seeing a bounty, or you will see this bounty from it. I already know that. I feel the abundance, or let's just say the potential of the abundance. Doing what you love, it doesn't mean it won't be hard work. But man, if you love what you do, I know I love what I do, and it is hard work, but I love it. Okay, let's keep going. I kind of love the world. Also, first of all, coming over Three of Wands, energy of optimism, living in the present moment, knowing that your ships are going to come in their divine time. You have Temperance twice, so we don't have to worry about that. Um, it definitely is signifying that this next journey is destined. So I have a feeling some of your soul's intentions before you came into this lifetime are going to start manifesting. This is not the first time you've manifested, um, but now I feel like you're becoming an expert at it, like my expert manifester. How do you want your world to look? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to take along for the ride? And who's got to go? We have the King of Cups. And then we have the Five of Wands. King, I don't know about you. Five of Wands, a lot of drama, a lot of fighting. These two fives, you put them together, the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands, and actually the Five of Wands connected to the Five of Swords here and in the same line as the second Five of Swords. So, man, Pisces, I feel like you must have been dealing with some difficult energy, but I also see you in this victorious position. So, whoever and whatever was trying to drag you down, I just don't feel like they can any longer. They can try. In the Five of Wands, I feel like there's a lot of ego. I feel like it's the energy of no one wanting to back down. It is a five, so it wants change, and I feel like the best change that I can give the Five of Wands is walking away from it, not allowing myself to get pulled into drama. Interesting is also following below the Strength card. So, this is what may have caused you to look deep within other people's actions. And I feel like for some of you, it's like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want my life to be like that. So the fives are a change. The eights are a new beginning. the changes all seem like, will they benefit you? 100%. King of Cups. I'm uncertain about him right now, though he does have the Knight of Cups coming below him. King of Pentacles. Could be wise, a little one. You know, you may be the King of Cups, by the way. I just realized that. Male or female. Seven of Pentacles. I love the Seven of Pentacles. And I'll tell you why. To me, this is like your tree of life. This tells me, like, this tree is full of your soul seeds of intention, things that you'd like to manifest in this lifetime. You know, as a soul, we know we only have so much time. So getting lost in other people's drama, it's really taking away our precious time. But when I see the Seven of Pentacles, which first message is patience, just like temperance, that means that one of these seeds are becoming ripe. Think of it as an apple tree. You know, you're not going to pick an apple if it's not ripe. You'll just spit it out. But boy, when it's ripe, it's juicy, delicious. And I have to say, when I see the Seven of Pentacles, I also feel that anything that has happened before we see the Seven of Pentacles is also meant to happen. So why would aggression and drama, why would that be part of your soul's journey? Well, because your soul wanted to be able to overcome it. That's really what the soul wants. The soul wants adventure. The soul came down here to learn, to evolve. And I swear sometimes the hardest lessons give us the greatest blessings. And I see you overcoming it all. Yes, it may take time. All right. King of Pentacles is falling in a pretty good position, except what he's mirroring. So we'll keep following that. Well, we're just continuing with the reading. So now we're going to be looking over the star. The Chariot. Look at that. Beautiful. You know, first of all, this makes the Strength card even more important because the Chariot, you know, I feel like there's certain gifts that we're all given, and one is our intuition. That is our GPS for this lifetime. The more we trust it, the more I feel like we see our life becoming better and better. When we don't trust it, it could throw a few more challenges and obstacles in our way, but it doesn't mean we can't still overcome them. So the Chariot really does need balance. It's the balance of the feminine and the masculine, the light and the dark. And then it becomes unlimited potential. Now, I also want to say with the Chariot, it is your intentions that move this Chariot. So if you believe that this can be unlimited potential, then so be it. Some of you may have been wishing for a car. And, well, I was just going to say, with the United States and this tariff war, this may not be the best time to buy a car. But hopefully, if you were looking for a car, you already got it. You know, it's your vehicle to the next, what feels like dimension. But I love it coming under the world also. So the only limits on the chariot are the ones that we put on it, not divine. Feels like wishes coming true. Wishes coming true. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Three of Cups over the Knight of Cups. So again, the Knight of Cups, unexpected couple fulfillment. Sitting right next to what's going on with my cards. Um, Sitting right next to the star. Your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. This is the energy of joy, celebration. So now when I look at this night, I feel very good about this night. It is unexpected, but in a way, you can expect it because if you really have gone through the energy of the strength card, you really have found that courage within, and you're sitting in the Empress's energy, that's all really divine is asking. And I feel like the rest will just take place. Like, again, the Empress receives epiphanies, ideas. I mean, we all do. But she has come to a place where she 100% trusts the guidance that she's receiving. And it puts her in success. She or he. All right. So I'm glad to see that. Whoa. We just had two cards. Okay. We'll take this one first. Six of Pentacles. And look at that. Three of Wands again. Okay. So I feel like that's the end of the Five of Swords. It definitely feels like you're moving away from it. The Six of Pentacles coming out right here. Six of Pentacles is that fine art of give and take. It's something we learn. You know, Sometimes we give our energy away. There's like energy vampires, so to speak. Some people you can just never please. But it is showing an imbalance. And it can be you. You do have such loving hearts that you do want to give. But I have a feeling someone was taking advantage of your generosity. And that might be why this queen is dropping the mic. Like, no more, no more, no more. Because it moves you into the Three of Wands. So, getting rid of the drama, the conflict, those who, say hurtful things. This is you just no longer accepting it. This is you knowing better now. Like, whatever was said within the Five of Swords, and we know there was a lot of drama, or we wouldn't have gotten the Five of Wands connected to it. But this is you walking away from it. This is you turning your back to it. Just as I feel you should. Or it would best suit you. So now we have the Three of Wands mirroring this king. Interesting. All right, let's go below. All right. Let's take what came face up first. We have temperance again. Wow. 3 times now, right? Where's the other one? Yep. Temperance, temperance, temperance. By the way, temperance mirroring temperance. So I don't feel bad. Like, I feel good about this king now because he is also connected with divine timing. This is, I feel like someone's going to help you in some manner. Could be money, could be advice, could be love, could be all of that. And then we get the tower. Well, the tower is mirroring the Five of Swords. I feel like this is you giving the tower. And listen, I don't feel you feel happy about it. I feel like someone just, you left me no alternative. We have the Eight of Wands right over the star. What I think about, I bring about. Hello, Ace of Pentacles. Wow. So this Ace of Pentacles is coming under the Knight of Cups. Unexpected couple fulfillment. Three of Cups. Well, that's fulfillment. Ace of Pentacles. That means it's coming into your physical world. The Ace of Pentacles, to me, you can't see it in this card. But a lot of times you'll see roots hanging from it. And I feel that means that it comes as a seed, like the beginning. And then, depending on whether I nurture this seed, which the Empress would totally nurture the seed, then this seed just grows and blossoms. But it's coming into your physical world. It's like this wait time feels like it's now coming to an end. We have the Seven of Cups again. Why did I say again? That's the first time we got it. Four of Pentacles. And then my little risk taker, the Page of Wands. Okay. For some of you, this Ace of Pentacles may come in before you've like completely cleared this past energy or have moved on from it. This may be the way. Like maybe you were stuck in a situation. Maybe you didn't have the money to make. Maybe the Chariot is an actual move, but Divine is answering that for you by giving you the way. And I want to jump back real quick to the King of Pentacles because he's also under divine timing. And then the Four of Pentacles. So you both have the Four of Pentacles. This could be two people who work from home or do very similar things in life. They would definitely have to be, you know, on the same vibrational energy. And let's just say they're not. This is the type of person I feel like you can help lift. I feel like over here you were trying to help lift people up, but they were just taking advantage of it. Over here, I feel like whatever. I just feel like this king is like open to you completely. This could be someone who lives also very close to you. I don't know why I'm picking that up, but I am. And I don't, of course, that's not going to be for everyone. But I do love that the Page of Wands came out. To me, this is like seeing the Fool. To me, this is like a yes. Because this is a risk taker. It's not fear based. You know, I do feel like the Page of Wands, and I feel like you are the Page of Wands right now. I know you're not a fire sign, but if you're new, as you start to follow me, you'll understand like how I read. But anyways, so here is that leap of faith that I felt right in the beginning of your reading. Will you or won't you? Well, if you're sitting in the Empress's energy, then I feel you will. Listen, the Empress can read energy. I know you can read energy. I feel like that's what all of us have been learning together is how to read other people's energy. Give people time to reveal to you their true selves. Because if someone is toxic, you'll figure that out pretty quickly. I feel like this is saying take a leap of faith on yourself. Know that you have the ability to create real success for yourself. There certainly could have been obstacles and challenges in your way, but they seem to be leaving as you are evolving. And because the Empress is the very first card, it can mean a single mother, of course. But even as a single mother, this is someone who, is very comfortable in their skin. But what I was going to say with the Page of Wands, taking a risk, and it's of your dreams, something you want to come true anyway. The Empress is someone who would move into this energy because she knows that I'll be able to tell pretty quickly if you mean business or if you mean bullshit. I feel like if we could just get rid of this five and this right here, everything else just looks quite beautiful. I feel like you've been waiting and waiting. But the hangman is not just about waiting. The hangman is seeking wisdom. Like, give me the wisdom of my next steps. Well, the Empress would receive that. Not only receive that, but then take those steps and create success for herself. I feel the Empress, like all of a sudden, I feel like, you know what? If I have love in my life, great. If I don't have love yet, I know it'll come in. It truly feels like I am just letting go of a lot of things that maybe had been weighing me down. And now I feel you light as a feather or soon to be. This kind of is a roadmap of how to get there. I also want to say the Empress knows without these hard experiences she's been through and has evolved from, she wouldn't be the person she is today. He or she. I say that because we have both male and female viewers. So, do you take a chance? I hope so. Can this truly manifest? That's exactly what it's showing. But it feels, again, like it's meant to. I want to look at the King of Pentacles. And what he means to you in this reading. Because I feel like he can mean different things for different people. For some, I feel like he is helping in a financial way. But that could be like, you know, like let's say you have like a podcast. I have a podcast, and there's a little link there. It says support the show. I could see this king supporting you in that type of way. This could be someone who has been taking notice of you. Interesting. But I'm picking up about him. Three of Pentacles. Beautiful. Where's the other Three of Pentacles? I know there's another one. Right there. Sitting right next to optimism and right next to temperance. Divine timing. This king is also right next to temperance, divine timing, and the Three of Pentacles. It feels like two people who can be 100% themselves and be loved because of that. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way the Empress would wear a mask for anyone. Like, love me for who I am, or just don't love me, right? I can take it. I can handle it. I've been through it. Now, I don't feel like you're even saying that. I just feel like that's your mindset. Like, love comes in, great. But there's other things that are important in my life also. All right, so I feel like this king is meant to be. For some of you, I feel like this is a king that will be part of your life. It almost feels like your new life. So it can be a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. But what I really want to say is when I think of the King of Pentacles, I think of a few things. I his perspective. When he looks at life, he looks at the big picture. So pretty quickly he can come to certain solutions. In the upright, I feel he's very loyal. And I know some of you are going to be like, well, not my king. Well, I've been with different kings of pentacles, let's say. And the one I'm with now, oh my God, I don't even have to worry. I'm telling you, this is the first time in my life in a relationship where I truly don't have to worry. It doesn't even enter my mind. It's so freeing. Okay, what was I going to look at? I think the King of Cups. Yeah, this King of Cups is in line with, okay, well, we have the Seven of Swords. Okay, so not feeling so great about that king now. Unless this is you and what has happened to you. Seven of Swords is deception, envy, untrustworthy energy, bad communication, no doubt. To me, it's like a kid who just never wants to grow up. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that, but I feel like there are certain areas that they really do need to reflect upon. Will they? Probably not. But, that's their problem, not yours. Again, the Six of Pentacles, like giving your energy to someone where you weren't receiving it equally back. So the Seven of Swords with the Five of Wands, I don't know. I just can't recommend that. Hmm. I want to follow that for just a second because part of me is feeling that. I mean, I know that you've dealt with that. Part of me is just feeling that it's not coming from this thing. So tell me, why am I feeling that? We have the Ten of Wands, We have, interesting now, the Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles right there, and then the Hermit. Well, we're in the year of the Hermit. And, when you see the Hermit, you'll either see the Hermit going into a cave, and to me, that's I'm entering into a dark night of the soul. I am seeking the light. I am seeking spiritual guidance. But this hermit has emerged from the cave and he's sharing his beacon of light forward, helping others. This lantern is illuminating this snake, and I feel like it's meant to give you some comfort, knowing that, this lantern really is you. It's your light, it's your intuition, it's your spirituality, but it's showing you that if you trust within yourself and your spirituality, then you don't have to worry about these snakes in the grass. You'll see them. Maybe this king has evolved. I want to take one right on him. Okay, 7 of Wands. I can't do it anymore. Trying to give him a good name, but I can't. So I feel like he's tied down here. All right, I'm going to pick all these extras up. And see if there's anything else I want to look at before we move into the clarifying love situations. I don't know if someone has been through like a natural disaster. And by the way, this is nothing I am predicting. This would have already happened. Like, I could have lost my home, but it feels like something that was outside of my control. And I know it's probably for a few of you, but I feel like help is on the way. And some of you, I feel like you may be relocating, but it feels like um it feels good. It feels good. The mirroring that's going on is a little wild. Like, to the point we can't deny it. I get a feeling for, let's say, someone that you may still be connected to someone. And I feel like this king may know that. We did see the Six of Cups under this Ace of Wands. So this could be someone you already know. But I definitely feel like this is someone who's looking up to you, like appreciating you, and maybe even learning from you. I don't feel that they're that far away from you, but it could be online. But if it's online, we can communicate, right? We can communicate online. This Knight of Cups, which is an unexpected cup of fulfillment, sitting right next to your hopes and dreams, your wishes, and then it brings in joy and celebration. And it literally is telling you it's coming into your physical world, asking you Will you take that leap of faith? I feel like if you are in the Empress's energy or you are trying to reach that energy, and by the way, that means that these fives, this bullshit, it doesn't, it can't live in the same house as the Empress unless she's a single mom and had to put up with this bullshit. But I still feel like she put an end to it. Okay. What I'm going to do is just take a couple cards right across the whole spread. Yeah, I've had a couple people ask me what my spread is called, and there is no name. I just go. I do it the way I feel it. Like I remember in the beginning I tried doing like the Celtic cross. It's not that I can't do it, but I like to freestyle it. That's probably what I'll call it, freestyling it. All right. We have the 9 of Wands. We have the Page of Pentacles. And look at this, the 9 of Cups. Wow. It kind of sums up the whole reading right here. So the 9 of Wands is your reflection. You're doing what you're meant to do in this year, the year of the Hermit, right? It's that final reflection of what's going to come into this next 9 years and what is not welcomed. But the 9 of Wands is you reflecting over yourself. These wands behind this person, each wand is an experience that they've gone through, but also has overcome. This person here is my spirit warrior. Because, first of all, they were bold enough to look back. But this isn't about judging oneself. This is saying to oneself, look how much I have grown. And then the Page of Pentacles right next to that. Well, that's all about a learning experience. So it's showing you that you've been learning, you've been growing. As you learn, you grow. And look what it puts you in, the energy of inner harmony, but also fulfillment of wishes. Well, we have the wish card. I feel like the Empress is kind of already, if she's not in inner harmony, you are on your way. I definitely know the Empress understands that her life has been about learning and growing. And in the 9 of Cups, listen, if love comes in, great. If love doesn't come in, I got a lot to do anyway, right? There's a lot I'm doing. Your creativity and what you want to do in the world is just as important to you as love. But what if they both show? This is like one of those readings. It is showing a very tough time, right? But it's showing you overcoming that. And then it feels like it just feels some like almost too good to be true. But it's not too good to be true because you deserve every bit of it. And let me tell you, falling in love when you're in the 9 of Cups energy, when you yourself have found this inner harmony, when you're in the Empress's energy and you feel strong within and let's just say even financially. I mean, it doesn't mean that you're rich, but you're doing your thing and you are finding victory. If you haven't found it yet, don't stop because it's coming. It's coming. And if you're worried about doing something and will other people respond, the answer is yes. If you believe in it, so will they. Now, if you don't believe in it, then they won't believe in it. But as the Empress, I feel like this is you helping others, which the Empress is so great at, and so are you. I love that we just got the Nine of Cups. I love that this is showing your reflection, but you realizing the growth that you've had because of the challenges, the obstacles, the things that you've overcome. Like, be proud of yourself. Okay, let's bring in the clarifying love situations. Oh, that's weird. We shall take it. So these cards, they have messages on both sides. So whichever way they come out is your message. Yours came out this way. Actually, it was flipped around. Shining sign. Trust in the universe's plan and follow your heart. Shining sign. Well, those signs are from your spiritual team. Trust in the universe's plan and follow your heart. I mean, the universe, divine, destiny, plans, right? Souls of intention, perfect timing. I take it, I accept it, and I understand it. Okay, I'm not going to take these. Envy's turmoil. Obsessed hearts and jealous minds brew a storm of unyielding chaos. Well, guess where that goes? Right there. Right in this group. And then we have chaotic clarity. Amidst confusion and intense crises, seek the light of understanding and resolve. Amidst confusion and intense crises, seek the light of understanding and resolve. Well, I did feel that. Not, and it was only for a few, but I did feel that. Some may say, well, how do you know it's only for a few? Because I know you. Because your guides allow me to know you. And hopefully my guides allow you to know me. All right. Since love did show, let's bring out the romance angels. I did tell myself I was only going to bring him out if love showed. But the Knight of Cups is love. Honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Holiday. Express your love. Go ahead and make that romantic gesture. It reminds me of the Three of Wands for some reason. Like no fear. It's interesting because I feel like some of you may meet someone, maybe they're on a holiday or a vacation. All right, I want to take a couple more. It's interesting because this person looks like they're crossing a body of water. Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. And then, well, look at this. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Okay, that is why I kept looking at the Six of Cups. that is someone of the past. This is someone you would have happy memories of, treasured memories of. I don't always feel like it has to be this lifetime, but let's say, to me, it represents a soulmate. So you probably spent many lifetimes together. But the Ace of Wands on top of that, it's like the passion is ignited, and then it's about the right time. So the reason why I took these cards was mainly because of the Knight of Cups. So that means it's coming in. However, I also want to say if there's someone in your heart, maybe someone you haven't talked to in a long time, but you've thought about, I'd reach out. I would. I'd reach out and just be like, hey, I just some reason I was thinking about you. I have a feeling what you'll find is they will say, that's weird, because I was thinking about you. And then I feel like it turns romantic. Maybe not right away. Though yeah, I say that, but then I feel it's very quickly. Some of you may be taking a trip to go see them, or they're taking a trip to come see you. Just look at the two. First of all, they do look like they're from past lives, but just look at their embrace. It reminds me of the Lover's card. And usually you'll see the feminine in current energy, and the masculine you'll see like kind of like in spirit form, though is already born. You know what I mean? To me, it just means it hasn't quite reached you. But in the Lover's card, the feminine is definitely feeling the energy of the masculine. And boy, are they feeling each other's energy. So I feel like the best thing I could say here is if there's someone on your mind that is not full of toxicity, that you don't have to teach how to love, because I feel you're beyond that. I feel like that's the stuff that you're leaving behind. Page of Wands right there also. Take a risk. Make a call. Doesn't have to be a call. It could be a text. Or it's going to happen the other way around. Someone's going to take a chance. And it's definitely going to pay off. I do not feel like this is like an old lover where there were issues and problems and blah, 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 blah. I don't feel that. I feel if I know this person, then when I think of this person, I think happy thoughts. They bring a smile to my face, maybe joy to my heart. Take a chance, or they're taking a chance. Maybe you're both taking a chance. Wow. It's not saying someone from your past might be returning to your life. It's saying someone from your past is returning to your life. And then you have the Ace of Pentacles, which literally means something is coming into your physical world. And the beautiful energy around it. The only one is this healing the family issues. But we know what that is. It does help to forgive. And one of the main reasons is so that you no longer carry that energy around with you. Like, honestly, give yourself the best shot for this next 9 years that you can. Like, use the energy of the hermit to eliminate what just no longer works in your life. And be willing to take some bold chances because I feel like they're going to pay off, especially when you get the drama behind you and you're able just to start to enjoy life again. Wow, life likes that. Divine likes that. Then I feel like hang on to your hat. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it there. Wow. Um, it's so funny. And I know some of you guys are going to say, Sandy, please keep your readings long. That is totally my intention. Actually, I don't put any time limits. Like whatever they are is what they are. Even if I try to make them short, they don't want to be short. You know what I mean? And for those who want short readings, I'm just not your girl. I'm not your girl. Um, but anyways, I want to thank you. I love you. Truly. I know we're soul connected. I know those who watch the reading. I know that your guides, whether you know that or not, nudged you. Sometimes you'll scroll over a reading and be like, oh my God, look how long that reading is. I don't have time. But then something makes you go back. That's divine. That means these signs are meant for you. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when it comes for you? All right, guys. Love you. Thank you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye-bye. By the way, I want to remind you of that membership program. I just want to go live. But I need more people first. um, but yeah, I mean, completely up to you, but that's what we'll do. So stop talking. Love you. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.